In my last video, I talked about how I gained 70 pounds as a teenager, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I lost everything. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, how is this even possible? Well, I'm here to explain that. So, first photo, 18 years old. Feeling on top of the world, extremely happy with the way I look. Confidence, I'm feeling very happy. School's fine, relationships are fine, family's all good, nothing to be worrying about. Fast forward a few weeks, and all of a sudden, bam, shoulder injury. And I had to take some time off from the gym. I couldn't train at all. And it was due to my own fault. I was overtraining and not giving my body enough time to rest. I injured my shoulder so bad that I couldn't even do certain exercises. Couldn't do bench, shoulder press, I couldn't bicep curl anything, and I lost a lot of size and strength. And it was just such a mental hit. I felt like, what the fuck have I done to myself? Combine that with a bad breakup, my dad experiencing some health issues with cancer, and bam, that's what you call a triple threat. And it took me down completely. There was times where I remember after having all of these things happen within relatively the same amount of space of a month, some days when I was at sixth form, I would just wake up and stare at the wall, and that was it. I would go on my phone, just scroll endlessly for hours and hours, just not really doing anything, just kind of being in my own head, just like a existing carrot in bed. It was terrible. I was taking antidepressants, 100 milligrams of sertraline, or however you say it. I don't know. But that made me feel extremely numb. It was not a good time, I won't lie. And it persisted for about 2 whole years, and that's how I ended up like this. I used to go to the gym, 5 times a week, and I was able to get rid of my stressful situations in my head. I was able to get it out of me, release it, and I had, obviously, when you do work out, you feel better. But I went from doing that to going to the gym probably once a fortnight, and that was a drastic change. But it was simple for the fact that I just didn't have the confidence again to go out of there. I saw how my body and my looks and my personality, the way I socialized with people, just took a massive decline to the absolute pits of self, right? It was dreadful. Self-confidence, gone. Everything I gained pretty much in the course of 3 years, I lost in 2. And I felt absolutely dreadful about it. And just looking at this photo of myself, damn. I reverted back to playing video games just like when I was a kid to try and comfort myself and pass time. I would probably spend upwards of 12 hours a day gaming. 12 hours, right? It was something else. I decided to start streaming, and you know what my favorite game was? My favorite game, basically the game I was most addicted to at the time, was the beautiful, amazing, the best community ever, League of Legends. It was an addiction, 100%. And gaming addictions are real. And to be fair, I could have had a worse addiction, right? So, just kind of existing. I had the whole, Twitch thing set up, oh, my name's Picnic, and to be fair, I had some viewers, not a lot, but I had a very small community, and I just latched onto anything which I had at the time. I had no pillars holding me up, and this was what I latched onto, and I was like, okay, for the first week of playing this game, it was like, okay, I felt a bit better this week, passed the time, got me through, so we're just gonna do it the next week, and then the next week, and the next week, and the next week, and as time flew by, I slowly gained a gaming addiction, and that was the worst thing that could have ever possibly happened. So, with this newfound love for video games, again, it led me to be extremely unproductive. Just literally prioritizing me, just passing the time and feeling better, then over everything else in my life, family, friends, school. I felt so terrible at one point that I was 4 months away from completing sixth form. I had an average attendance of 40% because I sometimes would just wake up and not feel good enough to go to school. I felt too terrible to see anybody or socialize. I was just so fucking ashamed of how I was. I hit the decline, bro. Seriously. that was a... I hit the decline, mate. There's no other way about it. It was the biggest decline I've ever seen in my life. I never thought... I'm joking about it now, but at the time, it was actually a pretty serious problem. I was in my own head every single day, just going through, you know, it. I read a quote, you know, the other month, and it's just like your thoughts become your reality, which I know too well to be absolutely true. I had such a negative mindset. I would look at every single situation in my life and just pin the negative things. Being unproductive led me to have the mindset of, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll let it slide this week. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, believe it or not, what I'm doing now on YouTube, and I know this is only my second video, and we have hit a milestone of 7 subscribers. Thank you very much. It's absolutely spectacular. Couldn't have done it without you. I wanted to be doing what I am now years ago. I had the same idea. You know, I want to start a YouTube channel, the whole fitness brand sort of thing. You know, I wouldn't say, you know, I'm much of a fucking... Like, I'm not anything special, okay? But I wanted to give it a go. You're never going to know how good you are until you try. And I had the idea of, I'm just going to wait for the perfect time for me to start my little YouTube channel, and my little Instagram, or my little TikTok, and my little businesses, my business ideas. And, you know, I'm just going to hold out. I'm just going to perfect this a little bit. Just going to perfect that. Oh, I'm not big enough. You know, I'm not confident in front of a camera. That, I'll do it tomorrow, has gone on, and I shit you not, for about 5 years. And I just think to myself, what if I started 7 years ago? If I just went for it? If I just... Stop being so negative and just went for it. What's the worst that could happen? Alcohol and junk food. I didn't realise at the time, but because I was spending so much time inside and not out, I started to develop terrible bad habits. And one of those bad habits was junk food and alcohol. See, I did drink quite a lot back in the day. House parties pretty much every single other week. You know, you're in that college sort of situation where everybody's kind of friends with somebody, and they're just like, oh yeah, bring a +1 to this party and it'll be fine. So I was going out drinking, you know, eating tons of junk food. You know, you'd go to a house party, get absolutely hammered, and then you'd take a nice little trip to the kebab shop. It's just standard. Typical order. Doner kebab. Large. Cheesy chips. All salad, except tomatoes. And garlic sauce. Absolute banger. It was amazing. Tasted lovely. Don't know if the meat was real or any of it actually. And it probably was all made of plastic. But damn, it did taste good after a night out, honestly. Because I was in this sad pit of just sitting at home in front of a computer desk, gaming all of the time, and snacking and drinking alcohol. It led me to gain weight so fast. I was skipping full meals and just having crisps, or I was skipping full meals and having sweets or junk food, you know, McDonald's breakfast. Alright, stuff is good in moderation, you know, you're not going to go wrong with that, but it's when I was overindulging in everything, that's when I really started to see some weight gain, and I lost my abs really fucking quickly. Sleep. Sleep's very important for everybody. Without it, we'd be dead. So, thank you, sleep. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you doing a video?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'll leave you to it then.
Have you drank your water today? You feeling alright?
No, my heart is killing me.
Your heart?
In my chest.
Let me have a look when you let me have a look when you get back.
What, we can have a look?
You know what I mean? Let me just.
Alright.
I'll.
Yeah, you have a look at my heart. That's
No, it's not. I'll.
biopsy. Open heart transplant, rest of it. Bye.
Thank you for that. Love you. My lifestyle just revolved around the PC at the time and gaming. And you know the typical thing of you're gaming till 3 AM. I would stay up till probably about 4 AM. And I'd sleep at 5 AM and wake up probably at 2 PM. And living this nocturnal life was really bad for my sleep schedule, my mental health, and all those sorts of things. Sleeping in till ridiculously late hours in the afternoon, alcohol and junk food all resulted in losing self-confidence. Now, I was never a confident kid, and you would know that because you obviously watched my previous video, which is on my YouTube channel. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to stay inside all the time, because I didn't feel confident in my own skin. Again, I was skinny, and now I would say fat. Summed up, why did I lose all my gains? Well, bad habits and addictions. A negative mindset. Giving up too easily, which it was just... I wouldn't even want to try anything new. I would just give up. I'll say, oh, I'm too scared of failing. I won't do that. And I didn't have any goals. When I was in my prime physique, you know, going to the gym all the time, I had smart targets. I had goals every week I wanted to hit. I wanted to increase my lifts. I wanted to do things in my life. Obviously, you know, go get better at school, do my exams, learn to drive. Just, you know, small goals. But when I had my absolute decline, I didn't want to do anything at all. And it was terrible. I understand what it's like to feel trapped and at war with yourself in your own mind. I can't describe in words the thoughts and like emotions I was feeling when I was obviously I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to you on the camera, but right now on my monitor, you know, I'm looking at this old picture of myself from when I was, you know, at 20 years old and looking, you know, in the worst shape of my life. Not to forget, I also had a problem because I gained so much weight. Whenever I'd wear a t-shirt, this is what you'd see. Now, this was my first ever holiday to Turkey, believe it or not, at the ripe age of, I believe this was just a little bit later, when I was about 21 years old, and I'd lost a little bit of weight, but not 100% back to, you know, prime Nicholas James. It was definitely something which also affected my confidence at the time, because, you know, these fat nips were just, you know. Anyway, that wraps up today's video. Second video on the channel, and I am still planning to post every Sunday at 7 p.m. GMT. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about how I got myself out of this situation of terrible mindset and got myself back on track, and how fast my life has actually improved since then. So, if you did like this video, please like and subscribe. It definitely helps me out. We currently have a total of 7 whole subscribers. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you next Sunday.